welcome you. If everyone can come and please start taking their seats. Please don't be shy. If there are empty seats, please move up.
Por favor, todas las personas que hablen español tienen ya sus aparatos. Va a probar si están trabajando. Pónganselos. It's only for the people is translate. ¿Están escuchando bien? No.
¿Quiénes no oyen bien?
Las personas que no están escuchando. Los que no escuchan bien, por favor, si pueden cambiar su equipo allá afuera, se los agradecemos para que podamos empezar. Tal vez el equipo sé que no está trabajando. Por favor, ¿pueden hacer la mano si ya está trabajando su equipo? Para las personas que están usando este aparato que es de traducción al español, levanten la mano. Ya está trabajando su equipo. ¿No está trabajando? Les pedimos que por favor vayan de nuevo a la mesa donde agarraron sus equipos y lo cambien. ¿Y las demás personas siguen teniendo problemas o sí escuchan? Ok. Las personas que no estén escuchando, por favor vayan allá atrás y cambien su equipo. Muchas gracias.
Welcome everybody. We're going to have a full house and we want to make sure that people that are walking in, coming in are able to take seats. You can sit in any row you want, but you got to move towards the center. Like let's not have empty seats. Like if you have one empty seat, move over. Let's be friends. Turn to the person next to you and say hi. Hi friend. Vamos a tener una casa llena. Todavía hay personas que están llegando, entonces se pueden sentar en cualquier fila, pero no hay que dejar asientos vacíos, porque la gente que va llegando un poquito tarde va a tener que pararse. Entonces, por favor, hay que ser amigos, introduzcanse, volteen a la persona a un lado y díganle, hola, no muerdo. Hola, no tengas miedo. Soy tu amigo, soy tu amiga, ¿ok? Bueno, vamos a comenzar.
Young girl with a camera.
Okay, welcome everyone. Good evening. We appreciate everyone coming out. We know people are busy and have lives, but we are happy to see everybody here. My name is Felicia Silva. I am the parent of a 6th and 8th grader here at Making Waves Academy. And again, we welcome you. We want to welcome you to the first ever 5Cs 2024 Candidate Forum. So this evening, we will be hearing from candidates that are looking to earn your vote. And they are here from the school board from WCCUSD Area 2 and Contra Costa County Board of Education Area 1. So tonight, at our candidate forum, we stand for every parent who wants more for their kids, more for their education. That is what we stand for. In addition to that, tonight we also stand with every student who needs board members that will protect their educational hopes and dreams and put them first.
Buenas noches a todos, bienvenidos sean. Nos da muchísimo gusto ver a tantas personas aquí y esperábamos que fuera así, porque todos estamos aquí preocupados por la educación de nuestros hijos. Bueno, bienvenidos nuevamente. Mi nombre es Tomás Espinosa y soy mamá de Mickey Ways Academy, de otro estudiante de Richmond Pre, y en algún momento fui mamá también de Leadership Public School, pero ahora mi hija está en UC Berkeley. Nuevamente, bienvenidos a todos al primer foro de candidatos de las 5 Cs del 2024. Esta noche escucharemos a los candidatos que buscan ganar su voto en las siguientes elecciones de la Junta Escolar del área del West Contra Costa, el área número 2, y el área 1 de la Junta de Educación del Condado de Contra Costa, aquí presentes. Esta noche, en nuestro foro de candidatos, apoyamos a todos los padres que quieren más para la educación de sus hijos. Esta noche, apoyamos a cada estudiante que necesita miembros de la Junta que protejan sus esperanzas y sueños educativos y los pongan en primer lugar. Bueno, el propósito, estamos organizando este foro porque es vital que invirtamos tiempo para saber quién tomará decisiones para nuestros estudiantes en el futuro. Y el futuro comienza el día de las elecciones, porque el 5 de noviembre algunos de los candidatos que están en este escenario ganarán y tomarán decisiones sobre el futuro de sus hijos. Queremos brindarles todas las oportunidades para tomar una decisión informada sobre quién representa a sus hijos y sus intereses. No te vamos a decir por quién votar, eso nosotros no lo vamos a hacer. Esta es su mejor oportunidad para que tú aprendas de los propios candidatos y tomas tus propias decisiones.
I'll be sharing the purpose of tonight's forum with you. We are putting on this forum because it is vital that we invest the time to learn about who will be making decisions for our students in the future. And the future starts on election day, because on November 5th, some of the candidates on this stage will be making decisions about your children's future. We want to give you every opportunity to make an informed decision about who represents your children and their interests. We're not going to tell you who to vote for. This is your best opportunity to learn from the candidates directly and to make your own decisions.
Okay, so we are going to go over some housekeeping items or the rules for this evening. So first, everyone here, who has a phone? If you have a phone, I want you to raise your hand. I know everybody in here has a phone. Everyone. So we are asking that you please put your phones on silent or vibrate. We understand that life happens. If you need to take a call, we ask that you would please go out in the lobby and do so. Understood? Yes. Thank you very much. So, okay, additional rules. Rules for our candidates. So each candidate will get equal time to respond. We will change the order of responses for each question, so a different candidate goes first each time. And this is going to be for fairness. We have a timekeeper, Malia Reeves. Malia, please stand up. So candidates, when Malia says time is up, that means your time is up. Please be respectful. Candidates, you can check Malia's sign for the time warnings. If you go over your time, we will cut you off. This isn't personal, it's just keeping it fair for everyone that's involved. So we will start with opening statements. Each candidate will have 1.5 minutes to introduce themselves. Then you will be asked 4 open-ended questions. Next, we will have 5 lightning round questions that are a yes or no answer only. Please do not give an explanation. We simply want a yes or a no. And finally, each candidate will have 1 minute to share a closing statement. And I would like to welcome Esteban and Mia.
Hi everyone, my name is Mia. I'm a senior at Summit K2 High School.
Hello everybody, my name is Esteban. I'm also a senior at Summit K2. So who is 5Cs? Hey Family Leadership Council? Please stand up. We are a coalition of students and parents who attend public charter schools in Contra, Costa County. We have been meeting, training, and working for 2 years to learn more about how our public education system works and how to make it better.
That's right. Just 2 weeks ago, 97 of us parent and youth leaders met on a Zoom call to come up with the questions we'd be asking these candidates tonight.
Hey Mia, but before we get into those questions, let's get a sense of who's in the room. Caliber Beta, can we get a ooh-ah-ooh? Ooh-ah-ooh?
Vicki Wiz Academy, can we get a woo woo?
Richmond College Prep, let's make some noise.
Summit K2, let's hear a dragon roar.
Summit Town, let's hear a Timberwolf howl.
Voices, let's get a rah rah rah.
This is our 5C's coalition. Beyond our 6 coalition schools, we know there are many other members of our coalition charter community here. If we didn't mention your school name, on the count of 3, let's get a ooh-ah ooh-ah. 1, 2, 3. Ooh-ah ooh-ah.
Let's get a round of applause for our district families at large. Thank you all so much for coming out tonight.
We are gonna pass it on to Cinthia.
Hello everyone and good evening. Thank you for being here, everybody. My name is Cinthia Roman, and I am a parent of the RCP. Currently I have 2 children, 2nd grade and kindergarten. And then before we introduce our candidates, we're gonna review what's these 2 different schools for Zoom. First of all, the local school board, West Contra Costa Unified, is responsible for the policy, budget, hiring, evaluating and managing the superintendent, curriculum approval, charter school authorization and oversight, manager district and charter facilities. The county school board for Contra Costa is responsible for large amounts of school funding for the county, run special programs for vulnerable students groups like teen moms and students in the juvenile justice system, serves as an appeal board for expulsion appeals and inter-district transfers appeals, and is responsible for charter school authorization and oversight when a local district denies a petition. Thank you, everyone. Now we're going to pass it to Anthony.
Thank you, Cinthia. Hello, everyone. My name is Anthony Durham, founding parent at Summit Tamalpais. Go Timberwolves. All right, now that you know who we are, let's meet the candidates. We'll have opening statements. Candidates, will you please share what district you are running for, what makes you the strongest candidate for students in the election, and how your past experience impacts your candidacy. Each candidate will have 1.5 minutes to respond. Let's start with candidate Anthony Caro.
I'm going to try something a little different this time. Please repeat after me. Cuando votamos, ganamos. Cuando votamos, ganamos. Thank you all for being here tonight. I believe that voting and civic engagement are what make up the body of democracy. You being here tonight is going to contribute to that. And at the center, at the heart, is public education. And it is this belief why I, Anthony Caro, am running for the Contra Costa Board of Education Area 1. My journey in education policy began in 2015 when I met my wife, Mitzi Perez Caro. She and I met organizing parents, students, and community members around education policy and advocating to the school board to improve our school district. To better serve our students, my wife Mitzi became a teacher at Kennedy High School, where she just started her 8th year teaching. For me to do my part to serve our students, I ran for school board at the age of 21 years old in 2018. I lost. Yeah. After losing my election, I started talking to folks who supported my race but didn't vote for me, asking what can I do better next time around. And the two biggest pieces of advice they gave me was to gain life experience and leadership experience. And that is why I joined the United States Army, where I served 4 years active duty and 2 years in the National Guard. I'm back from the Army because I want to continue the mission that we started, which is supporting our students through education policy. Tonight, you're going to hear about my experience, you're going to hear about our endorsements, and you're going to hear about our plans to support your students. Because a vote for me is a vote for somebody who's willing to do what it takes to make things happen and to accomplish the mission. Thank you.
Thank you, Candidate Caro. Next, we'll have candidate Daniel Nathan Heiss.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for standing. My name is Daniel Nathan Heiss. I'm really excited to be here. I had the pleasure of seeing a lot of you parents at Making Waves Academy at the County Board of Education meeting a few weeks ago, and I was very impressed, and I'm just really honored to be in this building today. I wish I had this when I was a student. For the last 15 years, I've been in and around education. I've worked as an administrator in the University of California system. I've run nonprofits that grant scholarships to students who are in need. And I've just dedicated a lot of time to making sure that students feel seen, valued, heard, not just in the classroom, but outside of the classroom. I believe that education is a pathway to a brighter future, and that's not just, again, in the classroom. It's a holistic experience. President Barack Obama, he recently said that when every child gets a good education, the entire economy gets stronger. And what I want to do is I will not rest until this is the strongest economy that we have possible. Okay? And how am I going to do that? Well, I want to make sure that we eliminate student food insecurity and housing insecurity. I want to make sure that students can go to school free of violence, hateful rhetoric, and more. I want to make sure that, again, at the end of the day, students have the most outstanding outcomes when they graduate and matriculate from school, not just including college, but in the vocational world, and also a few years down the line when they're making money and sending their kids to school as well.
Thank you, candidate Nathan Heiss. And lastly, we'll have candidate Guadalupe Enllana.
Hello, everyone. My name is Guadalupe Enllana, and I'm running for the WCCUSD Board of Education for Trustee Area Number 2, the Richmond area. Daughter to immigrants that came here to better their lives. I attended WCCUSD schools as an English language learner. Now I'm a mom, 5 boys to be exact, one with special needs. And I've been a fierce advocate, a really fierce advocate in my community. I sat on the CPOC as the co-chair, as the vice chair. I'm a DLCAT member. I sit on the 7-11 committee, and I'm the current chair for the Children and Youth Oversight Board for the City of Richmond. I also was involved in the first inaugural cohort with community schools at UCLA, and I am also a proud Emerge California alumni. I believe that we need change. I believe that all the spaces that I've been involved with have helped me gain the knowledge and support to be able to take on this role. They gave me fundamental skills on budget and on how things run. Really gaining that knowledge. I want to be here. I want to represent the community and the parents. I'm an independent thinker. I am not tied to any special group or special interest. I bring that to the board. I also am running on community supported and community funded. So I thank you, and I ask for your vote.
I want to thank all you candidates for your responses, and thank you again for being here tonight to share your vision and your platform. As you may notice, we have 3 chairs in front. They're up here now. But these 3 chairs up front here are for candidates who chose not to participate in our forum, in our parent and youth forum tonight. We have candidate Cinthia Hernandez, who's excused herself tonight because yesterday she had a baby girl. So let's congratulate Ms. Hernandez and her family. We also have candidate Jamela Smith-Folds and candidate Otheree Christian, who chose not to prioritize parents and youth. 2 days ago, Jamela Smith-Folds let us know that she would not be here. We asked to meet with her after our forum. She has yet responded to our request. Candidate Otheree Christian originally RSVP'd and confirmed that he was going to be here tonight, but then yesterday, just one day before the forum, he canceled on us. So again, we want to thank you candidates for being here tonight and sharing your vision and your opening statements. I'll pass it to Tommaso.
Vamos a continuar con las preguntas. Primeramente, como ya saben, mi nombre es Tomasa y soy una madre y estudiante de una niña que va en el 11º grado, aquí en Making Waves. Pero yo les quiero contar que hace muchos años yo tengo 3 hijos. Bueno, tengo 3 hijos y uno de mis hijos asistió a un preescolar público tradicional y en ella, desafortunadamente, ella padeció mucho bullying. Eso hizo que uno de mis hijos fuera más introvertido y callado. Y pues fue difícil. Entonces, por esa decisión, o por la situación que nos pasó, es que me cambié a la escuela charter. Y ahora me ha sido una mucho mejor experiencia. Mi hija, la que está aquí, ella es también un poco introvertida, pero el hecho de que los maestros la apoyan y la hacen que le empujan a hacer un poco más. Eso ha ayudado que ella busque hacer cosas nuevas y participar en más actividades que pueda hacerla crecer como líder. Ella actualmente participa en 4 clubes que ofrece la escuela y la emociona muchísimo hacer esto, porque siempre tienen algo que platicar en la casa sobre las actividades que hacen. También es comisionada en el Consejo de Jóvenes de Richmond y voluntaria en una organización de justicia social. Bueno, puedo contar mucho más de ella, porque es mi hija y me da mucho orgullo todo lo que hace. Pero solo quise comentar esto como un ejemplo de lo mucho que le ha apoyado la escuela y los maestros, y lo importante que es un lugar seguro para nuestros hijos. Porque creo que si crea cambios positivos y que como padres solo queremos lo mejor para ellos. Mi pregunta es,
Okay, Tomasa, before you move into your pregunta, into your question, I will be translating for you. Hello, good afternoon. As I shared earlier, I'm a proud mom of 3 children. One of them is at UC Berkeley, graduated from Leadership Public Schools. I have a daughter in 11th grade here at Making Waves Academy, and I have another child at Richmond College Prep. Some years ago, I started off in traditional public schools. But I had a really negative experience with one of my kids who experienced severe bullying, severe, to the point where my child became extremely introverted and just was feeling really insecure. Fast forward, I just made the decision to move my children to try out the public charter school system. I'll just share, since I'm here at Making Waves as a mom, that my daughter, who's now in 11th grade, has, it was the best decision to bring her here. She's been at Making Waves for almost 7 years, and she's really happy. She's still a little bit introverted, but the support she has had from her teachers has enabled her to get out of her comfort zone, try new things, and participate in activities that have helped her grow as a leader. She participates in clubs that the school offers, and she's excited to take part in them. We know this because she always has something to share regarding the activities that they do at school. She's also a commissioner on the Richmond Youth Council and volunteers for a local social justice organization. I could go on for many more hours about many more things that she does because, well, I'm her mom and I'm really proud of her. But I just wanted to share this story as an example of how much the school and teachers have supported her and how important a safe place is for our children, because I think it does create positive changes, and as parents, we only want the best for them.
La pregunta es esta. Las familias del condado West han indicado que la seguridad escolar y el bienestar de los estudiantes son aspectos primordiales para ellos al elegir a la escuela que enviarán a sus hijos. De hecho, los entornos escolares inseguros están relacionados con el bajo rigor académico, como una de las razones por las que las familias deciden no enviar a sus hijos a las escuelas tradicionales del distrito. Entonces, ¿dónde ve usted su papel a la hora de facilitar la seguridad de los estudiantes con énfasis de acabar con el acoso escolar?
My question is the following. Families in West County have indicated school safety and student well-being as paramount to them when choosing where to send their children to school. In fact, unsafe school environments is tied with low academic rigor for why families choose not to send their kids to traditional district schools. So, candidates, where do you see your role in facilitating student safety with an emphasis on ending bullying?
Empezamos con la candidata Guadalupe Enllana.
Well, thank you, everyone. Well, parents are making decisions about where to send their children. Unsafe schools undermine education opportunities and diminishes student potential. My role is to ensure that the superintendent has a plan and that there's policies written, but not just written, that they're actually being followed. That we are addressing it by educating our teachers and our staff to be able to engage our students and to be able to have a vision of what our kids are going through, to be able to support them along the way. I also believe in peer-led initiative, investing in mental health support so that every student has access to these supports on site. As a parent, I think that when it comes to really the safety of our students, that's our first concern. As a parent, I know that if my child feels unsafe, then he's not going to be able to learn. So we need to bring back the focus and really use our parents as partners, bringing them into the conversation of what safety looks like, how do we feel safe, how do we keep our children safe, and to be able to then, really direct on how do we tackle this together as partners in the game. I think, we know what's best for our children, and we know the things that they struggle with in school, but I also know that teachers and staff spend most of the day with our students in school. So being able to communicate and being able to have a plan and a direction for our superintendent and having him have data to support, the actions that are in place, I think is really essential. Thank you.
Gracias, Guadalupe. Señora Guadalupe. Ahora continuamos con el señor Caro. Next.
Lo siento, I'm sorry about your daughter, and I'm glad she's getting the support she needs now. Bullying, as was just mentioned by both of these folks, is a problem in the district. And when I was door knocking, I was talking to this mom who actually pulled her kid out of school and is homeschooling the kid because the kid was that traumatized by bullying. And it does happen. Which is why, if you vote for me, you're getting a 3-point plan to combat bullying, because I believe in policy and using policy to combat these issues. So first is we need more inclusion programs, more integration programs. So think about athletics, after-school programs, clubs, especially for our newcomer students. We have newcomer academies in some of our schools in the district. We need to promote that so that these newcomer parents know about them and they can make sure that their kids are in the right classes to learn. The second point of my plan is using the County Office of Education. So remember, I'm running for county board, very different than school board, which is what Guadalupe and Otheree are running for. The County Office of Education can facilitate speech pathologists, excuse me, my speech, occupational therapists to help students with disabilities. They can also facilitate training for teachers. But the third part of it is having highly qualified credentialed teachers. You can give all the professional development to these teachers, but if we don't have credentialed teachers in place, who's going to be facilitating this training to the students to make sure that they have their needs met. So solving the teacher crisis, funding programs such as pathologists and psychologists and all that we can do with the County Office of Education, and supporting more inclusion and integration programs. Those are the policies that I support. And another thing is each board member should bring something different when they seek office. Where you're getting with me is somebody who's a part of a marginalized community, somebody who's felt like an outcast before. And with that empathy, I think that I could do well to serve our students on the board. And so with policy in mind, with data, with researching, with my own life experiences, I believe that I'm the best up here right now to serve our students. And I hope that the experience of your child and the experience of that child that I've met is the last that we see of bullying in this district. But it takes bold leadership and it takes policy. Thank you.
Muchas gracias, señor Antonio Caro. The next es el señor Daniel Nathan Heiss.
Thank you. First of all, when I saw you speak at the Board of Education meeting 2 weeks ago, it moved me. It deeply moved me. And that's a situation that can never recur again. This situation is deeply personal to me. In 2017, I was working with a student and helping him select his college courses. He was pretty unreachable for a few days, and he had taken his own life. He was bullied because of his racial identity. This is something we have to prevent before it happens. And there are programs, one in specifics called WISP. It's the Wellness in Schools program. It's something that is put together by the County Board of Education, and it's a grant-funded program. This program has put forth 18 different workshops in 22 and 23, and the statistics are going to be released soon for this last year, but they put together 18 different workshops to train students, teachers, and especially parents, because that's where it starts. They train these people on things like sexual orientation, gender identity and expression, suicide prevention, just mental health basics. To me, wellness, student wellness, is the Mount Rushmore. It's on the Mount Rushmore of things that we are tasked with as Board of Education members. Going back to grants and how deeply personal this is to me, I really want to do everything I can to make sure that we go to Sacramento and we get more grant money. And we bring as much money as we can to these schools to provide programs for our students, because things like this can never happen again. It's been going on for far too long. In 2012, the California State Assembly passed a law called Seth's Law. And if you're not familiar with it, it's named after a student who took his own life because he was bullied based on his gender and sexual identity. We can't ever have that happen again. Ever. Ever. I want to do everything I can again to make sure that Seth's and Rahul's, the people who are marginalized, who don't feel safe and comfortable talking with people about their experiences, feel seen, feel heard, and feel valued. Because that's what my job is, to make sure that students have a brighter future. And if you elect me, I'm going to do everything I can to fight for those students to make sure that they feel comfortable.
Muchas gracias por su respuesta, señor Daniel Nathan Heiss. The next is Gónica. Muchas gracias.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jonathan Lynn. I'm a proud mother of 2 students at Caliber Beta and a parent of a freshman here in the district. I'm old enough to remember the financial state of our school district in 1991, the year my sister graduated from high school. For those of you who do not know, that was the year the district became the first school in California history to declare bankruptcy. They had a $42.5 million debt at the time. To save money, the district planned to end the school year early on May 1st. For my sister, that meant she would start college less prepared. She would have 6 weeks less instruction than most of her peers entering college. Thankfully, an 11-hour court order injunction prevented an early closure of schools, but it put the school under state receivership, It took 21 years for the district to pay off that debt. Fast forward to now, I have a high schooler, a middle schooler, and an elementary school student. I'm seeing the writing on the walls. West Contra Costa County Unified School District their financial troubles worry me, especially with the uncertain direction that the district will take after Dr. Heiss retires in December. I'm getting nervous about sending my 2 younger kids to district high schools. I don't want history to repeat itself. I don't want to find my family going to a school district that's bankrupt again, but this time, instead of my sister, it's my children. On June 27th of this year, EdSource cited a $31.8 million structural deficit over the next 3 years in the district. West Contra Costa Unified School District's financial issues are systemic and long-standing, and it cannot be blamed on the pandemic or public charter schools. So my question to you is this: how do you propose we gain financial stability so students and schools are able to get the resources they need for educational success? I'd like to start with you, candidate Enllana.
I have the pick of the night, right? Okay. Sorry, it was random. I think financial stability is a critical challenge. The structural deficit isn't just a number, it is a call to action. I think we need to have a plan in place and really focus on where can we bring in revenue. That means attendance, really making sure that our students are in school on a daily basis and that there's an effort by our district in this area to be able to entice and communicate with parents the importance of having students in class every day, and also teachers. So making sure that teachers are present to be able to teach our students, that is a must. The educational benefit forms. The educational benefit forms brings in vital funding from our Title I and for our LCAP. I think having all our students complete the forms is also going to bring in revenue, because right now we are approximately 75% of forms being turned in. So I think having a push and making sure that 100% of our students are turning in those forms, regardless of their income level, is also a must. Enrollment. We need to have a game plan for enrollment. Making sure that we are capturing, what our schools are doing, what our schools are bringing to the table, and having our kids actively enroll in our schools because they feel safe, because they feel nurtured, and because our parents want them to be there. Innovative revenue strategies. I think, I believe going after grants and federal funding at the state and federal level is a must. We need to be able to advocate for more funding for the education. And advertising our facilities. We have a lot of facilities that are just sitting there that can be used for community purposes, for community events, and having those facilities available to our community is also going to strengthen our community ties, but be able to, get some revenue in. Collaboration with families is vital. I think engaging our guardians in conversation about, how do we keep you here? How do you guys feel safe? How do we move together? And support of our students is going to be, one of the biggest challenges. It is one of the biggest challenges, but I think engaging parents in all aspects is going to be able to be, what we're going to do best. Thank you.
Next, candidate Nathan Heiss.
This is a fantastic question. Fiscal responsibility is the key of everything that we need to do in this state and in this country. Last week, the West Contra Costa County Unified School District, at their board meeting, the trustees approved an unaudited budget. They showed that the district had miscalculated and mismanaged their budget. They found that they undercalculated $6.6 million. I'll say it again, $6.6 million of projected revenue. They undercalculated. Even further, they had $10.5 million less in expenses that they projected. We can't let this happen. This mismanaged and this miscalculated budget, it's created partially a teacher shortage, a staffing crisis in our schools, right? We need to take this money and we need to not only bring in more teachers to fill the vacancies instead of having our substitutes here long term. That doesn't do anyone any good. We want our credentialed and educated teachers in the rooms teaching our students. In addition to that, we need to pay all of our teachers more. All of our teachers deserve to make more money, and I don't think there's anyone in this room who would disagree with that. At the same meeting, the board approved $36 million in reward money from the State Department, the State Department of Education. And this is going to go to support 26 different schools. So independently and together, these issues, they highlight why we need leaders with experience, not just managing and reviewing budgets, but accepting budgets. We also need someone who is not afraid to go to Sacramento. Again, I'll get on Amtrak right now, and I'll go to Sacramento, and I'll tell them we need more money. We need more grants. We need more funding. Right now, 18% of our budget is made up by state funding, 10% federally. We can increase this number if we ask for it. We need to have people who aren't afraid to go and get that. We need to have more fiscal responsibility, and we cannot have any kind of mismanagement. That way, our students don't have to experience what your sister did in 1991. We can't ever have that happen again.
Thank you. Candidate Caro?
As it's already been echoed, the district does have a mismanagement problem. Is anybody here familiar with what's happening at Stige Elementary School? Do you mind raising your hand? So what's happening at Stige isn't a problem of the budget, but it is a problem of mismanagement because that money is funded by the bond department. So if you have the bond money being mismanaged and you have the budget money being mismanaged, what's the answer? So again, we're running for county board education, so we can't directly oversee the budget of the local school district. But what we can do is two policies to do solutions that I recommend. And the first one is increasing attendance. The average daily attendance rate is how schools calculate how much money they bring in. Does anybody know? Well, you probably don't know, so I'll tell you. The district, out of all the total students that are enrolled, only about 91% of students are attending classes. 91%. That difference of 9% is costing millions of dollars, somewhere between $25 to $50 million, depending on how you calculate it. That would solve the budget deficit crisis. But what can I do on the county board to do that? The County Office of Education can provide trainings to administrators to help facilitate getting students to class. They can give trainings to teachers on how to motivate students. We need to think outside of the box when it comes to attendance. If we have trustees at the school board level that want help with attendance, it should be the job of the County Office of Education to provide that help. The second policy is grant writing and bringing extra funding in. As my two fellow candidates up here also echoed, they need more money. So when it comes to being on the County Office of Education, we're the facilitator between the state and the federal level. But here's the thing, if you vote for me, I don't need to go to Sacramento. I have those people's number on my phone. I have endorsements from the state superintendent, Tony Thurman. I have an endorsement from Jesse Araguin, who's running for state senate, and a working relationship with his opponent, Javon Quebeco. So no matter which one of them gets in office, I'll be able to work with them. I have working relationships and endorsements with multiple mayors and city council members. I say this to say that I will do what it takes to get the money. If we need to partner with the city of Richmond, we will. If we need to partner with the city of San Pablo, we will. The city of San Pablo has a parcel tax where they use part of their funding to fund San Pablo schools. Wouldn't that be great if we got that same commitment from Pinole? Well, I'm endorsed by their mayor and their vice mayor. What about Richmond? I'm endorsed by 2 former mayors and a current city council member. What about El Cerrito? Same. I will make sure that we get the funding because I can think outside of the box and I can increase enrollment through using the County Office of Education's resources, and that's how we solve the budget crisis, and that's how we help schools like Stige and like your sister. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to pass it on to Kathy Vasquez.
Mi nombre es Katy Vázquez. Tengo 4 niños. Tengo 2 niños en Cali Perpera y tengo un niño en Invicto y tengo una niña en el Cerrito High. Again. Mi nombre es Katy Vázquez y tengo 4 niños. Tengo 2 niños en Cali Perpera y tengo un niño en Invictos y tengo una niña en el Cerrito High. Para mí la educación y la alfabetización son muy importantes porque es a través de la alfabetización que enseñamos a nuestros hijos a leer y escribir y hablar. El viaje de mi hijo ha sido frustrante para mí porque tuvo dificultades para leer durante 6 años consecutivos hasta que le diagnosticaron dislexia en el 5º grado. Solo entonces comprendí por qué le había resultado difícil aprender a leer. Como padre estoy muy involucrado en la educación de mi hijo. Soy un padre líder de ILAC, SC y en Literacy LC, porque la educación de mi hijo es importante para mí. En enero me uniré a la alfabetización de FIC. Este será un programa de educación de alfabetización de 6 meses. Para padres, todos los padres quieren apoyar a sus hijos, no solo los padres de escuelas autónomas. Todos merecemos el derecho a la información, los datos y la capacitación para ayudar a todos nuestros niños a tener éxito en la escuela y en la vida.
Hi, my name is Katy Vasquez. I have 3 children. One is 4 children at Caliber Beta, 2 at Caliber, 1 at Invictus, and 1 at El Cerrito High. For me, education and literacy are very important because it is through literacy that we teach our kids to read, write, and speak. My son's journey has been frustrating for me because my son struggled to read for 6 consecutive years until he was diagnosed with dyslexia in the 5th grade. It was only then that I understood why it had been difficult for him to learn how to read. As a parent, I am very involved in my child's education. I am a parent leader in the ELAC, the SSC, as well as GOES Literacy CLC, because my child's education matters to me. And in January, I am joining the 5Cs Literacy Institute. This will be a 6-month literacy education program for parents. All parents and guardians want to support their children, not just charter school parents. We all deserve the right to information, data, and training to help all our children succeed in school. Kathy did it better.
Ok. Viene mi pregunta para ustedes, candidatos. Menos del 33% de los estudiantes del 3er grado en el distrito de West Contra Costa están a nivel de grado en literatura. En otras palabras, muchos de nuestros niños no saben leer. Si es elegido, ¿cómo piensa apoyar la alfabetización en el distrito de West Contra Costa y en la mesa escolar del condado? Señor Daniel Nathan Heiss.
In English. Okay, my question is the following. Less than 33% of 3rd graders in West Contra Costa Unified School District are on grade level for English language arts. In other words, many of our children cannot read. If elected, how do you plan to support literacy in West Contra Costa Unified and the Contra Costa County Board?
Ahora sí voy con usted, señor Daniel Nathan Heiss. Tiene 2 minutos y medio.
First of all, I think this is a great question, and this is what the heart of our schools are all about, education, making sure our students are able to graduate and live lives full of learning, full of joy of learning. Ultimately, I think we need to keep, this is ironic coming from me, I'm asking for your vote, but I think we need to keep politics out of schools, right? It's a fact. We need to be realistic. Endorsements don't mean anything without experience.
Yes.
And I think big ideas and thinking outside of the box are fantastic. But what good are they without funding? We have great programs, right? We have 3 programs that are funded by the state through grants. Every Child Reads, Reading Instruction Intervention Grants, which is called Projects Arise, and Learning Acceleration Grant. We need to build bridges, not fill holes, right? What we need to do is prepare our students who are already here with the programs we already have. Otherwise, we're going to end up in another budget crisis. We have programs that work to an extent. What we need to do is make them better. We need to beef them up, provide more funding for these programs so our students are able to learn how to read and they're able to come to school. They're able to have all of the resources that they need while they're here. So again, it's not just about ideas. Ideas are great in principle, but it's about follow-through. It's about experience. It's about leadership. It's about action. So an idea is great, similar to the parable of there are 2 birds on a wire, 1 bird decides to fly away. How many birds are on the wire? There are 2. The bird only decided to fly away, didn't fly away. So I say this, we need action. We don't need ideas, we need action. If you elect me, I will spring to action. I will make sure that we take these programs again that we have and make them better. And if we have the funding, we'll make new programs to work for all of our students. Thank you.
ahora viene Anthony Caro. Tiene 2 minutos
I disagree. I don't think the programs that we have right now are working, and I don't think that they should be beefed up. And I think the evidence of that is I recently attended a Black Unity Council meeting. For those who don't know, Black Unity Council, they're a group of Black parents and community members who work with the DLCAP. Did you know that 70% of Black students in our district are not reading at grade level? The statistic you mentioned was for 3rd graders, but it goes even worse if you consider the whole group. 70% of our Black students are not reading at grade level. I don't think the current programs right now, I don't think we can say that they're working. So when it comes to policy, what can I do at the county board level? So currently, the school district just received a $3.4 million grant from the state for literacy coaches. I think that's a great start, and I think we need to monitor programs like that and see if we can expand on them. At the county level, I can make sure that other programs that are being used in the rest of the county also come to West Contra Costa. One of the powers of the Office of Education is bringing collaboration, professional development sessions between teachers. We could bring teachers from Oakley Unified, from Orinda, from Martinez, and we could have them talk to our district teachers to see what is working over there and how can we bring those programs over here. And as a board member, I can facilitate those conversations. And I do believe that it's through policy, not just ideas, on how we make things happen. And we need a holistic approach. For those who haven't been following my campaign, what we've been doing is a series of events called All In for Education. At All In for Education, what we do is we invite different stakeholders, community members, parents, elected officials, people that currently work at the county, different areas. And what we do is we bring them together and we say, how can we use policy to solve these problems? We've had one session, and then if elected into office, I want to continue these every single 2 to 3 months. And the point of this is so that we can all come in together, because it takes a village to support our students, and it takes a bold leader who's going to facilitate these conversations. And I've already proven that, because we've had our All In for Education event already, we've had meet and greets, and the evidence is showing that there are solutions that we can be passing, but it just takes the right leadership to propose these. But it's not just about electing me. I'm going to ask a favor of y'all, and that's that if I get elected into office, I need y'all to show up as well. The same way that y'all showed up for this forum, I hope that I see you at board meetings when it comes to passing these policies. Because if we really want to support our students, we need to make sure that our teachers have everything that they need to support them. It's no mystery why our 3rd graders aren't reading at grade level when we don't have 3rd grade teachers. If all we have is substitute teachers, how do we expect these students to learn? So I need your support. Thank you.
Señora Guadalupe Enllana, tiene 2 minutos y medio.
Well, I think for me it's different. As a board trustee, I work directly with the superintendent. So that means having the superintendent implement a roadmap to address these concerns and across all schools, and that they encompass professional development. I think it has enhanced support for those struggling students to be able to get them to grade level, and also offering support teams, fostering the love of reading, not just inside the school, but outside the school. That's going to take collaboration. Again, like I said, collaboration for parents. Partnering with organizations that work in our community to be able to support our students outside the schoolyard, outside our school walls, and also within the school walls. We have a lot of organizations that are working on literacy. Having our schools perform, literacy nights for our students, making sure that we have well-staffed libraries. Our students need to learn what, the love of book, the love of reading. I think we need to address that. We should also leverage technology. What systems are we using? What programs are we using to support students when it comes to literacy? Having that conversation and having it with teachers. What programs are our teachers liking? What programs are data-based? I think a lot of the time in our schools we hear, we like this, but is it data-based? And how are we finding out? Is it something that's working? I think really having those conversations to be able to figure out where we're putting our money is going to be essential. Also, monitoring our students regularly, making sure that they're monitoring at the beginning and at the end of the school year to figure out what their gains are. And, if they didn't have any gains, what was the problem? What's going on in our classroom? I think having teachers be supported with coaching, having seasoned teachers come in to support our new teachers is essential as well. Thank you.
Hello, good evening. My name is Vicki Hernandez, and I am a junior at Llamas-Morales.
My name is Mia. I'm a K2 Dragon.
So Mia, it's October, and you know what that means?
For seniors like me, it's time to work on college applications.
Where are you applying?
Stanford, Johns Hopkins, and of course schools that are part of the University of California system.
So that means you have your A through G requirements?
Absolutely, the A through G eligibility is crucial for high school students. Only students who complete these courses are able to apply to college. A through G completion doesn't determine if we get accepted to college, it's just whether we can even apply to a public university in California.
In 2021 through 22, the A through G eligibility rate at Kennedy High School was 18%, while at Middle College High, a different West Contra Costa Unified School, it was 91%. This is a huge disparity between two district schools. At my school, Summit TAM, the A through G completion rate was 90%, and at Mia's school, Summit K2, it was 96%. How do you plan to better support WCCUSD schools to fulfill college readiness requirements to allow all students the opportunity to attend college? You have 2.5 minutes. This time, let's start with candidate Anthony Caro.
Good luck in college. So the statistic you provided was for Kennedy and Middle College, correct? District-wide, it's 52.8%, meaning that only 52.8% of our students, as of 2022 to 2023, are meeting the A through G requirements. And like they said, the A through G requirements are what's needed just to apply to our UC and our CSU students. Our UC and CSU schools. So from the county level, there isn't much I can do because this really is a local school board issue. But what I can do is advocate for the right policies, and with your support, we can get them passed at the local level. So our campaign is really based on research. Again, we're really big on policy. And LAUSD, we found that the A through G requirements are part of their high school graduation requirements, meaning that every single student that graduates from LAUSD is qualified to apply to our UC and CSUs. That's a policy that we don't have here that we can bring here. We can easily bring that to this district. In Indiana, and my research took me to Indiana, they have 3 different graduation pathways. 1, you either just get your high school diploma. 2, you are prepared for a career. So what they do is your classes are geared towards job training, internships. You go on field trips, you meet with the trades. And then the 3rd path is geared towards college. You do an SAT prep, ACT prep, and then you're preparing for life post-high school in the academic world. In Long Beach Unified, they're really pushing for the trades. They have academies that are focused on different industries. So you can have like a longshoreman academy, or you can have like an academic academy if you want to become a teacher. You can have an academy based on law and public service. And what they do is they meet with local partners to make sure that the students have the proper training in those fields. They get to go on field trips. The partners get to come in and teach classes. There is money for this at the county level. It's called career technical education. At the county level, if you elect me to the board, I can make sure that our career technical education programs here at the district are fully funded. I can make sure that our local partners are pitching in to make sure that our students are prepared. So these are all policies that I can do from the county level. But again, I need your support. We got to get the district on board. We got to get the district to raise the standards for our graduation rates. And you got to let me raise the support systems, because we can't raise the standards without raising the supports. Otherwise, we're going to have students that are not graduating. So those are the systems that I propose, and I'm proud to announce that I've been endorsed by many labor unions, and they've all committed to supporting me and making sure that our students have what they need. Thank you.
Thank you, candidate Anthony. Next up is candidate Daniel Nathan Heiss.
So this is, again, an issue that's deeply personal to me. So as a student in LAUSD, as my opponent mentioned, the requirements from A through G are part of the requirements. But that doesn't mean anything unless we have people who are in place to help our students succeed. I was a student who was told, hey, you don't need to worry about this class by a counselor. You don't have to take it. I didn't take it. Guess what? I couldn't apply to college. It's a sad fact. I had to go to community college, and community college was a fantastic experience for me. I got to learn a lot of different things. We need to be able to prepare our students not just for the UCs and the CSUs. We need to prepare our students for community college. We need to prepare our students for vocations. We actually have 70 regional occupational programs in Contra Costa County in our schools, which are programs designated and designed for students to learn a trade. That's more than anywhere else in California. And that's something we do really well. What we can do to improve upon that is create pre-apprenticeship programs for these unions. And what we can do is we can create a program that allows students to get the required credits that they need, so that way when they graduate, they can become members of the union, and they can work a living wage for the rest of their life. They can earn a living wage for the rest of their life. I've also have experience working in both the University of California and Cal State University systems. What we need in this office is someone who's going to go to the University of California Office of the President, which is in Oakland, and in Southern California to go to the Chancellor's Office at Cal State University, and we need to tell them that they need to come and help us be better in increasing that rate. We need them to come and work with us. Collaboration is key here, and yes, and as a member of the Board of Education, we can collaborate with people and other institutions. We can collaborate with the two places we want to send our children to and have them help us, because that's what they're there for. They're there for our students, they're there for our future. They're there for a better tomorrow. And without A through G, we're failing our students. I think the number I saw was 18%. That's unacceptable, simply unacceptable. And we need to do better.
Thank you, candidate Nathan Heiss. Next up, we have candidate Guadalupe and Enllana.
A through G eligibility is crucial for high school students. We need to ensure that every school has access to resources necessary to support A through G. We should enhance academic counselors. Every student needs access to counselors to help them through those pathways. We also need to create a culture of college readiness through our schools by integrating college readiness workshops for our families. I think having families involved and educating them on what A through G and the importance of these classes are is going to be crucial. Partnerships with community organizations that are doing the work, that we can support and, really build upon to support our families and our students. Finally, we must analyze data regularly. I think having the superintendent come back to us with data reports on, A through G, what are schools doing, what schools are actually hitting those marks and which ones aren't. Tracking A through G completion and understanding the factors that are and the barriers that we have at some schools to be able to address them. By ensuring that resources, support, and culture necessary for college readiness. I think we can empower our students, but we have to do this together. It is really important that we get our families active, that our families understand. I grew up here in West Contra Costa, and it's not as easy having to tell our students, you guys need to be ready to go to college. But we don't have no substance behind it. I think having the importance of my mom telling me this is why you need to go to college, this is why you need to get an education is going to mark the difference. And I think educating our families to be able to support our students is the way to go. And we also as parents have to acknowledge that, not all our students want to go to college. I have a son that says, I want to graduate high school, but I want to go in the military, and that's also an option. Or I want to go into the trades because I like manual, labor. I'm interested. So I think having the resources for our parents to understand that there's many ways, and that there's a future for all in whatever capacity that means. I think that's our biggest win when we have parents and staff working together. Then all our students are going to win. Thank you.
Thank you, Candidate Enllana. We are now moving into our lightning round.
Thank you, students. Thank you, families, and thank you, candidates, for being here. My name is Jamela. I am a special education teacher of middle school and high school students. I am also a proud second grade parent for Voices Academy. So I'm going to be here with my partner. This is the last round of questions that we have for you. I want to remind you that this is a lightning speed round. So we're going to ask that you answer the questions with a simple yes or no. We will only accept yes or no questions. So if you have further explanations, then we will cut you and go to the next candidate. Okay? Again, the answers will be responded in a random order, so I'll let you know which candidate goes first. For the very first question, do you consider charter schools to be public schools, yes or no? Candidate Enllana?
Yes.
Candidate Daniel Nathan Heiss?
Absolutely.
And candidate Anthony Caro?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Second question. Do you believe parents should be able to choose a learning environment for their student that fits their needs, regardless of that school being a public charter or a traditional public school? Yes or no? And we're going to start with Anthony Caro.
Yes.
Next, Guadalupe Enllana.
Yes.
And candidate Nathan Heiss.
Yes.
Thank you. Question number 3. Do you support the district publishing an annual report that provides public transparency of student academic outcomes for all district and charter schools? Yes or no? Candidate Enllana?
Yes.
Candidate Nathan Caro? Sorry, Anthony Caro. I'm so sorry.
Welcome to the family. Yes.
And candidate Daniel Nathan Heiss?
Yes.
Next question. If elected, will you support the renewal of public charter schools that meet AB 1505 criteria? Yes or no? We're going to start with Daniel Nathan Heiss.
Yes.
Guadalupe Enllana.
Yes.
And Anthony Caro.
Yes.
Fifth and last question. Do you commit to meeting with a group of 5Cs families that are in this room tonight after you are elected? Yes or no? We'll start with candidate Caro.
Yes.
Thank you. Candidate Daniel Nathan Heiss.
Thought these questions were going to be hard. Yes.
And candidate Enllana.
Yes.
The parents, I hope that you all heard the answers, and I hope that you all have some more information to inform your vote in November. I'm going to pass it over to Jesus for our closing statements.
Thank you. Muy buenas noches. Mi nombre es Jesús Pérez y yo soy muy orgulloso de estar aquí presente con todos ustedes para que aprendamos más de nuestros candidatos. Como ustedes saben, también tengo 3 hijos. No hace falta mencionar mucho, si me conocen un poquito o un mucho. Mi esposa es Tomasa Espinosa. It's a beautiful lady. You know, I'm so proud to have them in my life.
Good evening, my name is Jesus, and I have 3 beautiful children, and whether you know me a little bit or a lot, doesn't matter, because my wife is Tomasa. Very beautiful lady.
Ok. Pregunta para nuestros candidatos. Cada uno de ustedes tiene 1 minuto para compartir alguna reflexión final.
Okay, candidates, you have 1 minute each to share any closing thoughts.
We're starting with Guadalupe Enllana.
Well, closing thoughts. I think, what do I bring to the table? I bring to the table, my past, my present, and hopefully the future of the students. As a mother, that's what I bring to the table. I want to amplify our voices. I want to make sure that, we are being heard. I bring my, community relationships to the table. Being able to be accessible to the community, a que todos puedan hablarme y que podamos interactuar mutuamente, es lo que yo traigo a la mesa directiva. I want your vote, and I want to be community supported, and I want to see us there. So, a win for me is not a win for me independently, it's a win for us. Because I am your representative, I am the representative of parents, and I am here for you and your students. And, we're going to get this together. Thank you. And vote for me November 6th.
Thank you, Guadalupe. Please.
Edgar, do you mind raising your hand? Edgar's my campaign manager, everybody. I want to give a big shout out to him. Skylar, where are you? Skylar Diaz, wherever he is, he's outside. He is a senior at El Cerrito High School and interning with us. I am very proud of our campaign team. Our campaign is built off of students, teachers, and community members that have been volunteering with us. And that just shows the kind of campaign that we're trying to build, which is one of collaboration and one of coalition. But again, I need your help. The same way that you showed up today, I really hope that you show out when it comes time to pass these policies that we need to pass. Please see Edgar afterwards, sign up for our email newsletter, and learn how you can get more involved post-election day. Because supporting our students does not just come around once every 4 years. It comes every single day, and I need your help. And for the last few seconds that I have, I want to correct something my opponent said. Pre-apprenticeship programs are illegal. We cannot train students at the high school level for apprenticeship programs. You have to be 18 years old. And we can definitely support them to get into apprenticeships afterwards, but we cannot do that during high school, and a board member should know that.
Thank you, Anthony.
Well, I'm just deeply honored to have the opportunity to speak here. This means a lot to me to be able to be in this room. I heard a lot about this school, and I'm excited to see it. I want to thank everyone, especially the parents in this room. You're dedicated to the success of our students, and that shows. So one of the main goals of my role in school systems in general is to prepare our students for the future, to prepare them to enter the workforce and or attend college. As someone who has experience working in universities, as someone who has experience helping students select a college, who has experience writing and accepting grants, who has raised money for students, I believe that my educational and professional background makes me a uniquely qualified candidate for this role. I may not have the endorsements, but I have the experience and I have the willingness to go and get the job done no matter what it takes. I'm going to fight for students, I'm going to fight for parents, I'm going to fight for their choice to have an opportunity to send their kids where they want to send them.
Thank you very much.
Muchísimas gracias a todos los candidatos por sus atentas respuestas y participación en este foro. Démosles un aplauso muy grande, por favor. Aquí estamos todos nosotros para tomar acción. Y la primera acción que tenemos que hacer es que tenemos que votar. Ahora es nuestro turno. Todos los que estamos aquí presentes tienen que ir a la urna el 5 de noviembre y vote. Si usted no puede votar, háblele con todos los que pueden votar. Que nadie deje de ir a hacer eso. No solo por quién será nuestro próximo presidente, sino también por quien quiera que sea el administrador de la Junta Escolar que nos represente. Tienen que hacerlo, nadie se lo olvide. Nuestra segunda cosa que tenemos que hacer, la renovación de esta escuela. Ahora quiero que todos pasen a la última página. Esta es la última página de las cosas que les dieron. El 16 de octubre, la Junta de Educación del Condado votará por la renovación del Estatuto de Making Ways por otros 5 años. Sabemos que viniste esta noche y estamos muy, muy agradecidos. Pero necesitamos que vuelvas a salir el 16 de octubre, ¿ok? Escaneen, por favor, el código QR para reservar su lugar. Que es muy, muy importante, por favor. Necesitamos presentarnos en la oficina de la Junta del Condado, unidos como familias de las escuelas autónomas. Yo lucho por tus hijos, pero tú ayúdame a luchar por los míos. Aquí estamos todos unidos. Nuevamente, muchísimas gracias a nuestros candidatos por haber venido y mucha suerte en sus campañas.
All right, my turn in English. I hope I'm as great as she is. Thank you, candidates, so much for taking some time to meet with our families. It's really important, especially because, as you see, a lot of us have little ones who are hungry and tired, and so are we, but we are really thankful that you made the time just like we did. Now, I'd like to turn to the families and ask for 2 very important things from you. These are very important fights. The very first one is your vote on November 1st. We need to show up at the polls and make sure that we are not only voting for the governments outside of our school district, but also for who we want to represent us at the school board as a school board trustee. The second is also very important. As Tomasa mentioned, making waves of renewal is coming up. So now I want you to turn to the QR code that's in the back of your packet and scan it. On October 16th, the County Board of Education will be voting on whether or not Making Waves can renew for yet another 5 years. So I know that you came out tonight, but it's really, really important that you show up on October 16th and fight as a larger, giant charter family. We need to show up at the County Board office united. Tomasa, you can count on me because I know that when Voices is up for renewal, that you will come and fight my fight as well. So again, I want to invite you all to register to come October 16th for Making Waves and show up and fight for our children together. Candidates, thank you one more time for coming. We wish you the best of luck in your campaign, and we really hope to see you once you're elected. Thank you. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.